Functionalism is the, let's say, first perspective which is being focused here. In this, there are three main items on which there is an emphasis. So the main emphasis on let's say three elements. And the first one of them is that the general interrelatedness or interdependence of systems parts. Now, system has different parts. The social system, the society as a whole is a system. It has different parts. Now, these parts are not only related with each other, but these are interdependent. If one part stops functioning, it might have an effect on others. Although they consider that the whole society is more like an organism, more like a human body which has different parts. Now, the human being functions because of the let's say interconnection of different parts. Now, these parts are performing certain roles, certain functions, and if they perform the roles let's say smoothly according to the requirements of the organism, then the organism functions appropriately. Second is the existence of normal state of affairs or the state of equilibrium. Now, this organism remains in a balanced kind of situation. Theoretically, it has to remain in a let's say healthy kind of state. So when we look at this organism, that it has to remain in a healthy state, it is possible that there could be some difficulties with the performance of the roles of different parts of the body. Now, when there are different problems with the different parts of the body, that can affect the overall functioning of the, let's say, human organism. And similarly, if we are looking at the society, if certain elements which contribute to the smooth running of the functions of the society don't perform, then that can create stress in the society, that can create problems in the society, that can let's say affect the smooth functioning of the society. So these parts may not perform the function, but that doesn't mean the organism stops functioning. The different parts where there is a problem, then those problems might be rectified. And in certain situations, if certain parts don't perform the function, well, those parts may have to be operated upon. Maybe some surgical operations are needed. That's how the society has to run its affairs in a let's say smooth fashion. So that is how they use the word equilibrium. There has to be some kind of balance in the society. Imbalance may come, but that imbalance might be temporary. So problems might come with the human organism, some disease might come, some ailment might be there, but that ailment has to be rectified. Ailment might be in one part of the human body, and that is why the human body or human organism may not be operating in a smooth way. So something has to be done. Third is the way that all parts of the system reorganize to bring things back to normal. So partly I covered in the second point. So we look at this again, the way that all parts of the system reorganize to bring things back to normal. So there could be abnormal kind of situations. Some problems might emerge, but those problems have to be looked into. Those problems have to be solved. Those problems can create stress. Those problems can imbalance the society, but they are not going to kill the society. The society is going to remain over there. So those problems have to be shot down. So what this functionalist school of thought is trying to, let's say, put forward is that the change might be there, but that change is not radical kind of change in the society. That change might be evolutionary kind of change. New thing which is introduced in the society, it might create problems, but over time that is assimilated, that has to be modified, that has to be adjusted in the existing functioning of the society. So these are the three, I think, fundamentals of this functionalist approach. So actions are individual and voluntary, yet regulated by social values and norms. So people's actions might be revolutionary kind of actions, but then these actions have to be governed by the society's norms. They cannot violate, they cannot, let's say, simply demolish the norms of the society. So partly maybe these requirements need a change in the norms of the society, need a modification in the values of the society, but not with respect to dismantling the whole, let's say, functioning operation of the society. That things could disturb, but disturbance does not mean that it is going to, let's say, stop functioning. Something which does not perform, as I said earlier, is not required. It dies automatically. So innovations might come, but if innovations are not absorbed or do not come, let's say, in a revolutionary kind of way. So smooth process might be there for the introduction of the innovation. So the idea is more like having some kind of agreement with respect to the patterns of behavior, with respect to the values of the society. The society would like to have a consensus on the values. As I said, values is the standards of desirability. So look for value consensus, and individuals will be morally committed to uphold the values of the society, uphold the interests of the society. So within the macro-sociological perspective, as I said earlier, it is followed by the functionalists as well as the conflict school of thought. We see that within this macro-sociological perspective, functionalism is in direct contrast to conflict perspective, because functionalists are trying to focus on equilibrium, whereas conflict school of thought might not subscribe to that kind of approach. So functionalism emphasizes the unity of the society, whereas conflict theorists stress the divisions within the society, and these divisions actually are at cross purposes, and these lead to some kind of conflicting situation.